Welcome into Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey here for your post-game reaction from whatever that was as the Baltimore Ravens get boat raced by the Cincinnati Bengals. The final score in a game that did get out of hand with, I believe, 28 unanswered by Cincinnati, 41-17. The Joes of Burrow and Mixon, very efficient. Burrow was maybe his best game ever outside of one disastrous throw by the Cincinnati Bengals young quarterback. The Ravens defense that was so good a week ago against the LA Chargers, they had no answer for whatever reason for the Burrow-Lamar Chase combination, which we'll spend some more time on here. In the end, a disappointing effort as the Ravens enter their bye. Burrow finished the game 23 of 38 for 416 yards, 3 touchdowns, plus 1 interception. He was wildly impressive in this one. He actually started the game, I think it was 3 of 9, something along those lines. Finished with 416 yards. Even when the Ravens got pressure, there were still points where Burrow was able to get away from it. Only took 1 sack in the game. He was the best player on the field. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe Joe Burrow was the second best player on the football field today, because how about the effort out of Lamar Chase? He was targeted 10 times. It's right there on screen. Reading is hard, just like playing defense was today, apparently, for the Baltimore Ravens. And then, despite that, 8 catches, 201 yards, 1 touchdown as well from Lamar Chase. That was on the 82-yard slant route that he broke 2 tackles, and then no one even came close to catching him. The Ravens' lack of ability to stop Lamar Chase, major issue, and a big reason why they got blown out at home in Week 7. So what is your one-word reaction to this Baltimore Ravens loss? There are lots of different routes you can go, so I'm going to make this one the pinned comment on today's YouTube video. If you get the ad break here, scroll on down and let me know. My one-word reaction, yikes, and bad, disheartening, whatever word you want to use there. That was a bad showing by the Ravens. That game looked good early, looked like a decent first half. The second half in particular, I mean, what are you doing out there? You did not come ready to go in that second half. You got outscored 28-7. I thought the Ravens, when they took that early third quarter lead, I'm like, oh yeah, they got this game in the bag. They're sitting there at one point, folks. It was a 17-13 lead. The Ravens had a 3-play touchdown drive. Lamar for 1 yard. Then he found Bateman for 35 and Brown for 39. They take the lead, and they never score again. Couple punts, couple turnover on downs, and they end up losing in this one. And I think all that comes despite the play of Lamar Jackson. Now, I, for one, look forward to what the stupid media talking heads have to say about this one. That game, to me, was not on the shoulders in really any way of Lamar Jackson. Yes, he was only 15 of 31 for 257 and 1 touchdown. How many times did we see Lamar drop back and boom, pressure's in his face? Repeatedly. We'll talk about the Patrick Mekari injury in a little bit. But the Ravens' offensive line did not do well. And in the end, he was the only reliable player on the ground as well. He was actually very good in this one. 12 carries for 88 yards and 0 touchdowns, of course, in the end. He averaged 7.3 yards per carry. That is a very stark contrast to what the Bengals did the Ravens did on the ground against the Bengals. Now, look, there was no Latavius Murray. I get that. But Devonta Freeman had 4 carries, 14 yards, did have a touchdown run. Ooh, yay, cool. Tyson Williams, who is, I guess, in the doghouse, had a 6-yard carry and a 4-yard carry. Feels like maybe he should have been more involved. Le'Veon Bell, meanwhile, 5 carries, 5 yards, had a long 7, but that was it. The Ravens' ground game, without their normal backs, is struggling pretty mightily. And that is a big-time red flag as they move forward. Now, I think there's really 1 or 2 right answers here, but grade the Ravens for me in this one against the Cincinnati Bengals. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to flunk them. You lost 41-17 at home. You really collapsed in that second half. So I'm going F, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Now in the AFC North, thanks to the Bengals win, what a time to be alive. The Bengals are 5-2, tied with the Ravens right now. The Browns are 4-3. We'll see how they deal with all of their numerous injuries, which we'll get to more injury stuff here in a second. And then the Steelers, I don't think they're a very good football team. So the Bengals and Ravens technically tied head-to-head. Other stuff give the Bengals the advantage, at least for now. As mentioned, the injury note on one Patrick Mekari. He left the game with an ankle injury, originally ruled, I believe, questionable, then later declared out. John Harbaugh post-game did not have an immediate update with where things sit for Mekari, and that's troubling because this Ravens O-line is without Ronnie Stanley for the rest of the year. They've already moved the backup guard, swing tackle, Mekari, over to right tackle. Hopefully, he ends up being okay. The guy you tried to add, Brandon Knight, has dealing with some mental health issues, so he chose to not report. The Ravens are very thin. This is a trouble spot for them. The offensive line, it needs help in some way, as difficult as it is to find help in the middle of the season. Hey, trade deadline is, after all, just around the corner, and we'll keep you guys posted with any trade news or rumors on the Baltimore Ravens. We are this close to 2,000 subscribers, so if you want free daily videos on everything going on around the Baltimore Ravens, it's very simple. All you guys have to do is hit that big red button and subscribe today. Let's talk now about the defense, because I did want to spend some more time on this. They simply collapsed. Outside of the disastrous throw by Joe Burrow to Marlon Humphrey in the end zone for the interception, what did the Ravens defense do really well? Maybe limit to an extent the ground game, but 24 carries, 111 yards, plus 2 long touchdown runs, namely by Samaje Perine, had 11 for 52 yards today. He's like a replacement level back. The Ravens defense, through and through, I believe gets the most blame for this one. Sure, the offense gets some as well, only 17 points. Sure, the O-line was bad. You're never really going to win football games. Never, ever going to win them when you allow 41 points. When the opposing QB throws for 416 and basically 3/4 of action, guess what, folks? You're not going to win football games. The Ravens defense, which I was so high on entering this game, laid an egg, and that's a disappointment. Ja'Marr Chase was somehow unstoppable despite everybody in the stadium knowing, hey, big plays needed. The Bengals are going to end up going to Ja'Marr Chase in the end. I'll make a verbal note here quickly of C.J. Uzomah, the tight end. He also had himself a pretty nice day with his production. So I want you guys now to let me know in the comments, before we go here on today's video, what is your confidence level right now in the Ravens? Think kind of like 1 to 100 scale here. 100 being think they're going to win the Super Bowl, guaranteed. It's a lock, no doubt. 1 being you're in full-fledged meltdown mode despite being 5-2. Get your votes in. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments section.